Hello friends, I am DattatreyaTapkeer. It's my great pleasure to talk to you about passwords to open spirituality. That's what I want to talk about. We have to see today what are the passwords of spirituality, to open to spirituality. Excuse me, are you listening to me? Oh, sorry. Please listen to me carefully. Thank you. You will say, what kind of beginning is this? What did I say? Did you really feel that I was telling this to you? I said, excuse me, you thought that, it was, as a speaker, I wanted to attract your attention. And then I said, sorry, and then I said, please, and then I said, thank you. What's this all about? My dear friends, these are the passwords to open spirituality. The very beginning of my speech, which I have purposefully done in a very informal way, and a kind of surprise it was. Excuse me, and then sorry, and then please, and then thank you. Now you would say, how could be these? You would say that we thought that as a speaker you are trying to attract our attention. As a speaker you are going to say sorry to us. As a speaker you are going to request us to listen to you, so please. And then you, just as a speaker, as a formal mannerism, you said thank you. My dear friends, even though these four terms sound very, very casual, very, very day-to-day life, words, conversation. Normally, these are the words which are taught in spoken English classes, or for that matter, any language has got these four basic words. Excuse me, jara dhyan dijiye, jara ikde bagha, please bagha. And then we say sorry for something, and then we say thank you. So this is all a kind of etiquettes in speech. These are all just the mannerisms in speech. But the funny thing is, my dear friends, these very four words, namely, excuse me, sorry, please, thank you. Excuse me, sorry, please, thank you. These four words themselves are, according to me, the passwords to open spirituality. Now it's very funny, isn't it? It's very interesting to see it. Well, friends, I do call them as together, you see, ESPT. Excuse me, E, then sorry for S, please means P, and T means thank you. Now you would say, what's so special in these? As a student of spirituality in my personal life, and studying theoretically the so-called spiritualism and religion and all kinds of practices that we do, and with a little bit of my own experience, I came to the conclusion that these very four simple, common, day-to-day conversational words are really the very important mantras, as we can call it, or they are very important words, they are very important key words, openers, or like passwords. In computer we say there is a password. Unless you give the password, you cannot open the program. So our program of spirituality inside us will be very easily opened due to these four passwords. Now in a common life, when we have a communication with the other person concerned, with the society outside, these words are very, very important. These words are very, very useful. They have got great functions to do. In order to attract somebody's attention, when you want to talk to somebody, what do you do with the beginning? We always excuse me. Means our purpose is to attract the attention of that person. Because in that case, we are interested to have communication with him or her. So, it's a kind of very humble beginning, it's a kind of very formal beginning, like unless I attract the attention of that person towards me, unless I make that person to listen to me, unless I make that person to pay attention towards me, I cannot have my further communication with him at all. And the same thing happens in spirituality. Well, before we go to these interesting terms, let me tell you first that, of course, I'm sure, I think that you have got great concern, you have got fine concern regarding this spirituality. But you know that many a times people think that this spirituality, this so-called spirituality, is something is very mystical, mysterious, very complicated, very, difficult to understand. It is difficult to comprehend. Something very complex, something which is very beyond, something which goes above the head, something which is very mystical, something is very mysterious, something very esoteric, secret of life, or something of that kind. Many times we think that this spirituality is only concerned with religion as such, or it is a topic of philosophy only. Many times we think that it's only the fantasy. Many times we may think that it's only imaginary thinking. But is it so? The real fact is, my dear friends, this spirituality is something which goes beyond all this. This spirituality happens to be very, very fundamental. It's a very fundamental base of our being, of our existence. And it's our inner identity core. This is our identity core. This is what we are. This is what we exist as. So, the real spirituality goes beyond any religion, caste, creed, any kind of theology, any kind of ism in philosophy, whatever. It's a very, even though it is a very personal thing, it's also the universal thing. And many times people do think that, well, it might be concerning with the faith, that I may have some faith regarding particular God or particular guru or particular master, whatever. Then there are some who say that, well, scientifically there is no meaning at all. Science is science after all. Some, those who are thinking about logical thinking, logically they do think that, well, spirituality might be something which is a very romance in thinking. It's something which is imaginary, which is something goes beyond like that. But when we come to the very basic root of this very word spirituality, the spirit, our inner own being, and when we are trying to find out the inner basic truth, it is the basic truth of our own being. It is a search for this basic truth. It is a search for our inner being. It is a search for the whole existence itself. But it happens in a very, very natural way, I will tell you. So, never think of a very idealistic or very high-sounding philosophy or very complicated terms of that. No. Let us, as a person, when we think that we are, I exist, I am there, I have an existence of body. I also have to admit that apart from my body, I do also have an existence, something called mind. Even though it's difficult to define mind, what exactly it is. But I do feel that I feel, I think, as Descartes has rightly said, that I think, therefore I am. So I think, I feel, I experience. So I am there. I experience my body. And I experience the world around me. So this whole existence is myself plus world around me. So it is a combination of myself and the world around me. So when I try to think about this in deeper terms, and that too with my own self, I am not trying to compare with anybody. As a spiritual seeker, I am not supposed to compare any philosophy, any religious dogmatism or any ideology as such. As a person, simple, straightforward person, I have to take this search. I have to undertake this search as my own adventure, as my own endeavor. And now then you come to know that there is a feeling of something that is beyond me. There is a feeling of something which is powerful than me. There is some feeling of, if I am the creation, then something being like creator. And then the ideas like God, Almighty, and the cosmic intelligence and infinite intelligence. And such many beautiful terms are coming up now. Even though the term like God and Almighty and etc., these are traditional terms which have come to us from the scriptures. But nowadays the psychological studies for the new young generation, they are giving up the new terms like infinite intelligence, cosmic intelligence, the life force. Many such words can be used for. But that something has to be there. And then I have to have communication with that something. Now that something might be the representing entire universe, or it might be beyond the universe, and at the same time that principle might be also inside me. So in this very confusion, I am trying to seek myself. What is this all about? And then I have to name that something as XYZ, which is greater, which knows everything. That's why the words like omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent have come. So that something XYZ as might be God or Almighty, or the Creator, or the Great God, or whatever different hundreds of names and thousands of names are there to sing the glory of that Almighty. Every religion talks about it, every theology talks about it, every philosophy talks about it. But here, we have to see that once I am convinced about my own existence and something that principle itself which is beyond this and which is inside me also, and when then my heart is filled with this kind of curiosity. Now this is the first step for any spiritual seeker, that he has got that curiosity within his mind, that I have to search myself within, and I also have to search this entire universe that is around me. And then that kind of gratitude comes into my mind. And then let us go back to our 4 words that I said as a passwords to open the spirituality. The very first word, the first password to open the spirituality happens to be excuse me. Just as in case of in a social gathering or whenever you go and you come across a person, you want to talk to him or her, and then you say excuse me. So to attract the attention, to make that person to know about you, to talk to him, how to begin the conversation, I have to say something like excuse me to this word, to this God, to this Almighty, to this spiritual entity, to this spiritual power. Because otherwise the spiritual power will remain only a great jargon of vocabulary in the scriptures or in the great books of philosophy. If I want to make it as a personal experience in my own life, then I have to have this password. How can I start conversation with this so-called God, so-called Almighty, so-called universal power, so-called cosmic intelligence, whatever it is, unless I attract the attention of it. As we have called a better word in Sanskrit for that, avahan, avahayami, avahan karna. I have to, invocation, I have to invoke that. Something I have to do. Apart from my daily routine, I have to sit erect. I have to start japa or meditation. I have to meditate. I have to go deeper into some ritual, some very, very sincere and genuine ritual I have to do, which might be physical as well as psychological. Some ritual, some either the chanting of the name, or taking the deep breath, or making your mind calm and quiet. Something which is done within you. There is nobody witness outside. You yourself are your own witness that time. And then whatever you do, I call that, whatever you do, that comes into this excuse me. For some of them, it might be a prayer. Some it might be only, as I said, any kind of words from the scriptures, any kind of affirmations. Could it be any kind of pranayam or any kind of breathing exercise? It could be something done physically or psychological or linguistically, either by my body or my mind or by my speech, whatever I do, to begin my touch, my communication, my contact with the Almighty. That comes into the category of this excuse me. Once this, because this is a difficult state, there is always a starting trouble. There is always a difficulty in beginning. Once you are successful in doing this, then the other steps are very easy after that. Then the other passwords naturally come one by one, because these are in a sequence. Excuse me is the first, and then comes sorry, then comes please, and then comes thank you at the end. So excuse me means, what does it mean actually? It means from your normal outside world, external consciousness, external affairs, when you try to withdraw your mind from external affairs, from external happenings, from external situations, when you for the first time with the help of words or physical action or mental action, when you try to withdraw from this, turn your back to this and try to go within this search, and that time whatever you do, that action or that language or that word, I call that as excuse me. So friends, excuse me is the first password. Let it be any kind of sadhana. You may be belonging to any religion, and you might have any kind of God or any kind of avatar or any kind of guru or sadguru or masters, whatever you have. Whenever you go to a particular statue, you're going to the temple is excuse me. You're going to your shrine. In your home it might be a shrine, devghar, and when you sit there, that is excuse me actually. When in the very beginning says Om Ganganapataye Maham Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, whatever you start with in any language or in any religious scripture, whatever you start to say, that is excuse me. Means there you are on the path. It is the first beginning. There is the mental preparation of your mind that now I am trying to concentrate, I am trying to focus, I am trying to bring all my faculties together and come onto the path. Bringing onto that in a concentration, I am coming to my God or whatever. That becomes excuse me. And then the real fun begins. What happens? Once you are tuned with, I would say, this is something like, our modern technology of this, what you call this mobile technology, we say that it should come in the range, coverage. When you come into this internet coverage, this connectivity, this range, this is a kind of spiritual range. To enter into the spiritual range, to enter into that atmosphere, to enter into that mindset, to enter into that mental attitude of spirituality, this is the first beginning. This, by anyhow, whatever is suitable to you, by own practice, you have to search what is excuse me for you. This excuse me kind of phenomena can be different for different persons. You have to first of all find this out. Otherwise, throughout the life, you will go on following only the mechanical rituals and nothing will happen. So please try to see it this way, very sincerely, very genuinely, very honestly. Try to find out what is your excuse me, which makes you focused, concentrated, and which allows you, which encourages you for the further journey. And then the second password comes, that is S, that is sorry. I assure you, I am quite sure that once you have this excuse me, successful excuse me, naturally the second the reaction from within you would be feeling sorry about something. Friends, in our life we are doing so many mistakes, so many errors. In traditional language it may be called as papas or patakas. So many patakas, so many sins are always happening with us. We are always troubled by negativity. We are always angry. We are always with resentment. We always have a strange feeling of revenge. We are always depressed mood. And so many negative things are always hovering upon us. And we have done so many mistakes regarding, they can be called as physical mistakes and psychological mistakes and spiritual mistakes and so on and so on. They will automatically come to you. Once you focus your mind, then you will feel that, oh, I have done so many wrong things. Let it come out of it. This is a kind of confession. Every religion says this. That might be confession, kshamayachana. This becomes the first step for devotion of the bhakti. That's why confession is important. That's why तौबा करना कहते हैं इसे. तो ये तौबा करने की बात है कि I feel sorry about myself. I feel very sorry because once that great Almighty comes to you and you are focusing your mind on that, then naturally you are psychologically you are trying to remind, you are trying to recollect all the troubles, all the mistakes that you have done in your life so far, and they will start coming. Now here I advise you to let them come. Don't drive them away. They are bound to come. It's very natural to come. In fact, that is the second password. Unless you use this password, you can't go further. So let all these things come and say sorry for that. In any language you say sorry, क्षमा करो, माफ करो. बस जिंदगी में और क्या है? कुछ लोगों को माफ करना है और कुछ लोगों से माफी मांगनी है. So here we have to say sorry to Lord. So माफी मांगनी परमात्मा से. पश्चाताप होना है, इसे प्रायश्चित करना. ये तो पश्चाताप की भूमिका है, ये प्रायश्चित की भूमिका है. तो with a full open heart, you please say sorry. बिल्कुल from the deeper your heart. Go deeper and deeper. What did you do today? What did you do yesterday, day before, last week, last month, last year, and entire life, whatever comes as a whole, whole panorama, whole span of life, canvas of life will be coming there, and your so-called superiority, your so-called, you are very proud of all your qualities and good things, but at the same time, very honestly, you will feel that you have done so many wrong things. बुरा देखने जो मैं चला बुरा न मिलिया कोई जो तिल ढूंढे अपना मुस्सा बुरा न कोई. That's what Kabir says. Now, what Kabir says is the second password. That is this sorry. You find lives of all, you read the lives of all these great saints and seekers, you'll find that this stage has been very important in their life. Feeling sorry about your own self. Feeling sorry about your weaknesses, about your limitations, of all the wrongdoings that you have done. So be honest. Like there might be, asu vahenge, the tears will come out of your eyes, you will feel very sorry. Open that of heart. It's a kind of catharsis. Let that, run away. Let that come out of you. Let your heart be very much clear with that. That is the second step, second password, sorry. When this happens, then go to the third password, that is please. Now, please is a very, very simple, very important word. This please, this one word, please, makes so many things straight in our normal life as well. In the life, daily life, in family life, in the social life, in our professional life, occupational life, in your office, wherever you go in the market, everywhere in human life, this please works wonders. Whenever something happens, you say, oh, please, please. You always request others. This making kind of request, being humble. The word please denotes this password. What does it have? This password please denotes your humbleness. It denotes your namrata. It denotes your sense of surrender, शरणागति, पूर्ण समर्पण भाव, जो भक्ति में बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण होता है, समर्पण भाव. So you have to devote, you have to dedicate yourself. All this comes into place. So your third step becomes when you meditate or when you are praying or when it becomes a complete, total, passionate wholeness, completely total surrender as it is called. पूर्ण शरणागति. Try this. Try this. Just say please. कृपा करो. कृपया इसे कहा गया है. कृपा. कृपया. please. Just as we say to our, when we are young, we used to say to our parents, or mother and father and friends, to teachers, to everybody we say, whoever is big, whoever is elder than us, whoever is powerful than us, whoever is our boss, whoever is our senior, always we have to say please. Now here you are speaking in front of, you are communicating with the most senior, the seniors of seniorest senior person, that is Almighty God. So naturally this feeling should come out of your mind, from your heart, saying please. All your prayers of all religions, of all scriptures, are nothing but expansion of this please. Every prayer, every stotra, you will find every stotra, maybe Sanskrit stotra or all these stutis, everything has please in it. Without please, you cannot have prayer at all. Prayer is the manifestation, it is the external form of this please only. These are varieties of please. It can come out of your eyes in the forms of tears. It can come out of your hands with gestures of your hands. It can come out of with your words. It can come out as a language. It can come out as a feeling. But you would need something. Naturally, when you feel sorry about yourself, then naturally you feel something that I am incomplete. I want something. I don't have many of the things. I want joy. I want bliss. I want to see myself. I want to search my own truth. I want to see who am I. I want to see, I want to find out the meaning of my life. I want to find out everything that is the ultimate truth of the life. All these things come out of you and they take the form of please. Every question of your mind is transformed into please. Every curiosity and every search of your mind is automatically converted into, transformed into please. So, all, as I said, all prayers are nothing but please. So, go deeper into it. Sink into it. Get drowned into it. डुबकी लगाओ, डूब जाओ उस प्लीज में. This is the third password, as I said. बड़ा ही गहरा, बड़ा ही सुंदर, बड़ा ही मोहक पासवर्ड है ये. प्लीज, प्लीज से ना, परमात्मा से कहना है प्लीज. जितनी लगनता से अपनी माँ से कह रहे थे प्लीज, बड़े छोटे थे तब, बस इसी गहनता से कहना है परमात्मा से प्लीज. ओ लॉर्ड, ओ डिवाइन फादर, ओ हेवनली फादर, हे परमात्मा, हे परमेश्वर, हे सदगुरु, प्लीज. And in that please, all your desires, which are legitimate, of course, because desires have no ends at all, but which are legitimate, very good desires, sattvic desires, which are proper desires, these would automatically come out. Then you will feel like, I want peace, I want bliss, I want pleasure, I want success in my life, I want to keep myself on the proper track. So many things are there which are beyond my capacity, which are beyond my limit. So, oh Lord, oh universal power, please help me. Now this helping, asking for help means prayer. And prayer means please. And please means the third password. And now the last password happens to be thank you. Now this thank you, what does this thank you denotes? You see, normal life, whenever somebody helps us, even if you drop down your pen or a handkerchief and somebody helps you to picking it up, you say, oh, thank you. So many things. Somebody opens door for you, you say, oh, thank you. Or so many, hundreds and thousands of times, spoken language, especially English also, is always taught to say thank you, abhar, कृतज्ञता, बड़े आभारी हैं, शुक्रिया. All this क्या है? All this thank you, everywhere we say this thank you. This thank you is nothing but abhar. It is nothing but कृतज्ञता. It is nothing but अहोभाव. That is called धन्य भाव. अहोभाव है ये कृतज्ञता है, ये gratefulness. This is expressing the gratitude. Now, if we can express the gratitude for our colleagues and our human beings, persons, why not to express that gratitude regarding the Almighty, regarding the universal power? And that's why it becomes the fourth password. The ultimate, the final password, you become. When the prayer is successful, I tell you, when the prayer is successful, when you go really deeper into the prayer, naturally the prayer ends into the gratitude. It becomes gratitude. I tell you, you cannot express your thankfulness. The words are no, we always say that there are no words to thank. It really happens. You can really experience this joy of feeling short of words. No words at all. Yeh hai ahobhav, dhanyod bhav, dhanyodgar. It may again come out of your eyes as tears. The entire body may tremble. You will look to the sky. You will look towards a statue of God, or the photograph of your God or of your Sadguru or Master, whatever. There you will find. You will look at the nature. Entire nature you will find a symbol of gratitude. You will feel so much. Your entire heart will be filled with gratitude. Dhanyod bhav se. A dance will come out. Music will come out. You will like to dance. You will start loving all of them. Because loving everybody is again the form of gratitude. The real happiness and the bliss comes out of this gratitude. So this word thank you, it's a compound word thank and you. This thank you is a very, very important word which opens the key to the spirituality. Be always grateful to whatever happens. Be grateful that you have life. Be grateful that you are still living. Be grateful that in the morning you open your eyes and you get up from your bed. You are living. You are not died in the sleep. You are living. Your eyes are seeing everything. Your ears are hearing everything. You are eating. You are drinking. You are feeling happy. You are loving. All your persons are there. Entire world is around you. You know you are happy for no reason. That's again a very important thing. You can be happy for your happiness can have cause, no doubt. But the thank you or the fourth password that I am talking about, this gratefulness is such a wonderful greatness that it is born out of no reason. You are so happy without reason because of your own being, inner being, spiritual being. You are entirely happy. So the very first password which began with attracting the attention of the Almighty, then expressing all your worries, difficulties and troubles and being sorry for your mistakes, then requesting that is praying, that is please, and then at the end all this journey ends with a great thankfulness, a great gratitude regarding the Almighty. And then with this such four simple and easy four passwords which really open to our life of spirituality. Thank you.